Hello and welcome to today's teaching. I am your brother Hosanna David. In case you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to this channel, Hosanna David, and also follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. I want to talk about maturity. We'll be talking about attributes of God's love under the general theme, God's love. And today I want to talk about God's silence in times of trials. How many of us who are teachers will take our time to teach our children, our pupils, will take our time to teach the students what to do, and then when it comes to the time of the exam, we start teaching them amidst the exam, during the exam? How many of us do that? When you have taught your child, before you promote the child, you will give a test, an examination. You want to examine the child to see if the child is actually qualified for promotion to the next class. That is what God does for us. I want us to read James chapter 1 verse 2 following. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Verse 12 says, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord had promised to them that love him. It is the nature of God. It is the attribute of his love to watch his children closely when they are passing through trials. I tell you the truth. We are in all Christians are equal. We know salvation for every one of us is equal too. We are equal in the sight of God. But I tell you the truth, when it comes to maturity, every one of us are not equal. Some are stronger, some are weak in faith. And for someone to get to the top, he needs to pass through some trials, some examinations. What this place is saying is that we should count it all joy when we pass through diverse temptations. Why? Because the temptations, they are actually useful to us. How? That the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And in verse 12, we are told that he that is passing through trials, through temptation, is blessed when he has patience. You see, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. If you have patience and you endure, you are blessed. Why? Because the Lord God is going to reward you. It is God's nature to be silent. Remember, the Lord will never allow the temptation that is bigger than us to come our way. But oftentimes, he allows different kinds of trials to come our way. God doesn't tempt us, but he tests us. I believe by the grace of God, I will do a teaching on that. Whether if God, the difference between tempting and testing. God tests us to see how grown are we in the faith. Look at the trial of Abraham's faith. He told him, "Go and sacrifice your only begotten son, Isaac," and he went, and before he could slaughter the child, God said, "Look, I've made provision for myself. Don't touch the child." You know, it is then when he had been tried that God said, "Now I know." So God, in our relationship with him, he allows trials to come our way. And he is oftentimes silent. He watches us to see how we are going to react. Now let me tell you, the true test of love is in the face of trouble. If you are in a marriage or you are in a relationship, you have a friendship, and you haven't received any form of temptation, any form of trial in life, your relationship had not been tested. But when there is trouble, like sickness, like going broke, scandals, and the person can really stand in the face of that temptation with you and say, no, I love you, I still confess my love towards you, for you, then you will really know that this person really loves you. It's the same thing God does. He allows temptations to come our way, and He will be watching. Are you going to deny me? Are you going to stay by what you confess? It is not just by confession, it is by our actions. You remember what Jesus told Peter after, when they went fishing, He asked him, do you love me? So if you love me, feed my sheep. So in the face of the enticing things of this world, if you love me, then you should be able to demonstrate the love for me instead of going fishing. I know you are bored, you've been waiting for me, you've been waiting, and you can't even move in the society openly because of what has happened, because of persecutions, because of people jesting, different kind of things. But do you love me? Are you getting carried away? Are you dropping the gospel in the face of trial because you are lonely, because I have left you? Are you dropping the gospel? Do you really love me? That is how God looks at us in the face of trial. Do you love me? In the place when people are offering money and telling you, oh, we just want you to compromise. God could be silent to watch. Do you really love me? If you love me, you would let this money go. Personally, I know a lot of times I've allowed money to go. There was even a man who God gave me a very serious message to give. And unfortunately, I say, unfortunately for me, I was praying with him because of a contract that he was actually pursuing. But finally, he got the contract. But unfortunately, the moment I needed to deliver the message was the time he requested for my account number, and I told him, I have a message for you. Let me deliver the message first. I have to give you the message. If you still want my account number, I will give it to you. And then, do you know what? After giving him the message, he never requested for my account number again. You know what? I am happy because I know at a time like that, God will be watching me to see what my actions would be. Okay, you have a very harsh message that is actually from the Lord to tell you, this man is not going to like the message. Are you going to receive a gift from the same person? You want to tell the bitter truth before you tell him? What if after receiving a gift, you couldn't tell him the bitter truth? God is watching us. He wants to see how mature we are. He wants to see in His silence how we are going to react. I don't know what you're passing through right now. It could be because God is watching to see how you are going to react. He wants to see how mature you are. And if you pass the temptation, I tell you the truth, there is a reward for you. Every trial comes with promotion. Behind the trial, there is always a stepping stone. Behind every stumbling block, there is a stepping stone. And God is always there to reward every little, no matter how small, every act of faithfulness that we display. I want you to share this video with someone, and I also want you to subscribe if you have not done so. There are lots of teachings that I've done. You could go and listen to them. Feed yourself with the truth, no matter how bitter it is, and you will definitely grow in the Lord. Visit our websites, eagleayopuna.com and biblicalsexualpurity.com. God bless you. Bye-bye.